I'm Dan Galusha and welcome to another edition of Dan's Fishing Tales. Today I'm going to show you how to rig an FT shad. This is a soft plastic jerk bait that's put out by Natural Forage Baits. And it already has the kicking bass cooked right into it. Now, what would make that important? Well, for one thing, it's important in all soft plastics, but especially a jerk bait like this, because you're doing it slow, you're twitching it, and when you get it out there, once they hit that, they'll take the bait, and a lot of people make the mistake of setting the hook right away. You don't do that. They'll take it and they might carry it off. Well, if there's nothing in there to really make them hang on to that, it's a good chance they're going to drop it. So the kicking bass gives it a little bit more oomph, I believe. And I'm going to show you how I rig this. Now, you can Texas rig it, no problem at all. Well, like an X-gap type hook, an X-point X-gap, or even an X-point worm hook. They work great, but what I like is this Daiichi, and I get it untangled from my B&M rod here. I've got the new B&M 75 series. I'm going to try that for this sort of fishing. Never done that before. Anyway, what you do is you got this little keeper right here. You can see that. It's a little spring thing. And you screw that into there, into the head, and you get it started. Once it gets started, it'll start screwing right in. But that's the trick. Get it started, and then it kind of looks like I may have used this hook before. Now, here we go. Okay, got it started, and you keep screwing it on. Now, what you want to do is keep going until you get down here. Now, I've got the knot here, but we're going to hide that whole spring. But where I want to stop is where I have this slot. Now, that slot sometimes I use to put a little bit more kicking bass in. But you also use that slot to put the hook in, just like this. You push it forward, and what I do with it is I'll pull it all the way out, just like this. Now, that's not weedless, I know. So you push it up forward and bring it like this, and you do what you call skin hook it. See that? I run my finger right down through there, and without hitting that. And you want to make sure that point is well in there, and yet not too far in there. You want it so that you can't feel the point, but you might feel where it's at. You run it right over. And so anyway, that's how you rig it. And next, we're going to do some casting with it. We can see where we're at here. We've got a lot of weed growth. I've caught one on it was actually another Natural Forage bait. It was an RT7 worm, and which is a 7-inch ribbon tail worm. And that one, it hit pretty good out there, but I could tell right then that this might be the thing that works. So I'm going to go down here, see how it, and like I said, I've never used, this is that B&M 75 series rod. You've seen me using it before. And it's going to be interesting to see how this works, because normally I like using a casting outfit for this. So spinning, this is going to be different, especially in weeds like this. Here's something I want to talk to you about on this. Wind. Something I really didn't plan on picking up too much, and you're probably hearing a little bit of wind noise, so hopefully the protector I've got in there is working. I got a new windscreen, by the way. But when you get wind, it's really hard to detect the strikes on these a lot of times, because they are so light. They're just pickups, they're carries, you might just see the line just twitch. When you got wind bowing it, you're not even able to put the right sort of a technique on it, or a type of a jig that you want, or whatever you want to do. Sometimes you don't want to do a blasted thing. Just let it drift down and bring it along slow. It's kind of hard to do that when the wind is blowing this direction. Now, if the wind was blowing behind me, that's different. You don't always have that choice, just like here. I'm wanting to fish these areas, and that's what we've got. So I want to see what we can do with it and take it from there. I've changed positions just a little bit. I've found a spot that's back here a little bit shallower, and hit one small bass on it. So we're going to see what we can do with this. I was able to set the hook with this B&M rod, so that I found out already. Now hopefully there's more fish in here. The thing I'm looking for are pockets in these weeds, so that they can drop into there, and that's where I'm getting the hits. I have got a couple of hits so far. Bluegills are all over the place, it seems like. And bass activity is really there. I got one going at it right now. Yep, he hit it. Let's see. There we go. Got him. Got him. I may be off. I don't know. He's in the weeds. Nope, he's off. So it didn't get set good that time. Now that's something too that you can see. I wish you could have seen it on camera. Because you see like a V coming right at it. You know that they're going to probably hit it, because if they're coming that fast, and then if you just pause it sometimes, other times, it's like do whatever the opposite is you're doing. Pause it or twitch it. The hook came out. I had him hooked. We'll see if we can get another one here. There's definitely some fish back here in this pocket. I'm on top of the weeds now. There. As I said, that's what I'm doing. I'm dragging it over the top and just letting it drop into a pocket and trying to get them out that way, because they are not coming up to the surface as far as when it's on top. And sometimes you'll have them doing that. You do them just like a blitz frog, bringing it along. But I don't think they'd really come up for that here, because they're just not coming up to the tops of the weeds. They're staying and coming out of the edges. The wind's just catching that enough, and that's another problem with fishing a spinning outfit, is because I don't know, to me you don't have as good a control. Oh, there's one right there. Missed him. I was looking over there at that one. It just came up. You've probably seen that on camera, I'm sure. And we're going to make sure this is just right. I'm going to try to drop it into that pocket of weeds, or that pocket that's inside those weeds. See if what we can find out. There's got to be a fish right there. And I'm a little off. Not where I wanted to be. There's one. He's got it. Oh! Now that's a hook set. The fish is clear over here. We'll set the hook, and he's a dinky doo. Oh, that one was something. Just get ready to cast the next spot, and that one hits. Didn't want that one to hit. Wanted the big one to hit. We switched locations again, and I'm in an area now that has little to no weeds, at least, but it is a lot murkier. So I don't know. We're going to find out here, see what happens. Get down here and cast up this way. I'll just fan cast, see what we can do. Felt like I might have had a hit. Wishful thinking, perhaps. Oh, there we go. Got one. This clear water is definitely going to make a difference. Better fish, too. Definitely. Yeah. Better fish. Definitely a better fish. He picked it up pretty good, as you can see. He really took the bait, and yet that's all better it was hooked, so You can see here, I'll bring it up to you. You can see the fish a little bit better. There it is. Like I said, a better fish than what we've been having. And we may have found the spot, really. Because like I said, the weeds aren't as bad here. They are here. There's no doubt about it. Because they're around there. And this one, I got them right off a clump that's under the surface. I think I've got one going. There we go. We got one right here. Oh, it's a nice fish. Nice fish. I think. I always say it is. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's a good one. Nice bass, without a doubt. Look at that one. Good fish, real good fish. That one's a good one to go on. I'm going to unhook it, release it. I got another one. Not too bad of a fish. There. Hooked good. This B&M rod's been working the way I wanted. I just was not too sure how it would work on jerkworms like this. But it's been setting the hook on them. So it works good, but I've got to use these to get it out of here. There we are. Get it back in the water, get that little fishy going again. Wasn't a bad fish. Well, hopefully I've been able to give you a few tips on how to fish these jerkworms, in this case the FT shad. I wanted to show you too on this FT shad. One of the things I like about it is, see this little split tail back here? To me, I've washed it in the water. I've taken clear water and gone real close to shore and washed it. That little split tail sometimes just gives a little quick thing like this. I think that can be just enough to get a fish to come around and hit it. I've been very happy with these, and again, it has the kicking bass in it, which helps. And use that slot to put a little bit more in. You don't have to go overboard, just put a little bit more in. And you put several casts into an area, and I told you that before, you create what's called an odor zone. And that can get them to respond just a little bit more, especially if they're on a very negative day. As I said, I hope I've been able to give you a few tips on fishing these, and especially rigging it with that copperhead, that Daiichi Bleeding Bait Copperhead hook, which I have had fantastic success with on these. I also use the butt dragger model, which is the weighted one. It has weight down the shank. That works good if you want that thing to drop down and, you know, get into a deeper area in a hurry. I also use that one a lot more for finger jigging. I have finger jigged these without any weight, but the one that has that butt dragger weight, I've definitely done that with that one. So until next time, get out on the water and enjoy a great day of fishing.